Not My Problem requested I cover this court case in Australia where a trans woman gained the right to use a lesbian dating app. Now, this is worth covering. Why? Because it shows you that men will not fight for their identity as men, but they will for any other identity. This guy, once he became a trans woman, was willing to stand up for his rights. And men need to, because remember, men are not allowed to have our own spaces. Explicit male-only public or commercial spaces are largely prohibited in the United States. It's not simply that we don't have them. We're not allowed. It's illegal for men to have what women have. Right. Secondly, I want to point out something else that's very important. This is a fight, this court case, between two groups of women. They aren't backing up this trans man. They're backing up the woman who supports him. Heather Corkill, Equality Australia. This is the person that society is supporting, not him. Anyway, let's get at the beginning and we'll see what they have to say.
A landmark discrimination ruling bolstered on appeal.
I brought my case to show trans people that you can be brave and that you
His name is Roxanne Tickle? Is that his actual name?
can stand up for yourself. In the process, I surprised myself at how brave I could be.
Notice his language as a trans woman. I surprised myself how brave I can be. Straight men never talk like this, do they? We'd be crapped on if we talk like that. He's allowed, once he identifies as a woman, to talk like this, to say, I'm a brave person, right?
Roxanne Tickle used the Giggle for Girls app in 2021 after submitting a selfie that was assessed by AI.
Now, this is about lesbian women, but notice all the women are really good looking. But this is important too. Facial recognition. Let's back that up.
After submitting a selfie that was assessed by AI. After a manual review, her access was restricted. The app's founder, Sal Grover, appealed a 2024 ruling.
Now, take a look at this woman. All you guys who go on about fat, dyed-haired, tattoo-wearing women, this woman does not fit that description. Matter of fact, the better looking the woman is, the more discriminatory she is towards men. This woman can have any man she likes. She's on top of the world. And yet, here she is being the one to discriminate against men, right? But again, this is about facial recognition. And why is that important? Because you think they're going to stop here at a dating app? No, they're going to use facial recognition to prevent men from going into public spaces if women don't want them there. It's going to stop us from using pornography that we want. It's going to be used for job applications. This is the beginning. Or I shouldn't say not even the beginning. This is the tip of the iceberg of what facial recognition is going to do to discriminate against men.
That found indirect discrimination based on gender identity. Sal Grover wanted that result overturned, but instead the appeal panel found there had been 2 instances of direct discrimination and the damages were doubled from $10,000 to $20,000.
Wow, she really lost. They doubled it. So notice that the guy has support of women. See, this is a real woman, right? This is a born woman, whatever expression you guys are allowed to use. This woman was born a woman. She is getting her way. That trans woman was only gained success because of her. Understand that. This is an argument between two groups of women. We men aren't even allowed. If you want proof, look at the turned off comment section. Like this old one, which is a year old, where they talked about opening the dating app. There's all kinds of comments because this is only women talking. But once you get two groups of women fighting, ABC News doesn't know who to support. So they turn the comments off. They can't have comments on either side. It goes to show you that men really know their place.
Really makes it easier for people to prove their claim in future compared with indirect discrimination, which is legally very complex.
I now look forward to getting on with the rest of my life in the community that we all...
It's not complex. It's very simple. It's only complex when you want it both ways. They want to exclude men, but they also want to include their attack dogs. Trans women, the LGBTQ, whatever, in general, are attack dogs for women. They attack men at their behest. Right. So they want them included, but they also want them excluded. You know, you attack dogs, you live in the kennels, not in the mansion with us girls.
know and love, one that embraces freedom and equality for all women.
Ms. Grover left the court.
See, this guy, he doesn't want equality for men, does he? So he doesn't want equality for women either. He wants female supremacy. He just wants to join up. He wants to be on the winning side.
Without making any comment. She later posted on social media saying she was absolutely devastated and that women were being discriminated against.
Did this appeal backfire, Ms. Grover?
Her supporters hope the case is taken to the High Court.
None of us will give up until the law.
Can I ask you something? This lesbian here, do you think the facial recognition works for her?
It's changed to clarify things for people. Women have to have our own spaces, it's very clear.
Jamie McKinnell.
They can have their only spaces, but not us guys. If the nobility wants to enter your hut, your peasant hut, they're allowed to. And they can take your stuff and shoot your dog and bang your daughters.
ABC News, Sydney.
See, like again, so again, this is a fight between two groups of women, right? Again, the only reason this guy is getting what he wants is because he has women backing them. That's why. Now, look at this woman who created it. Again, this is a year ago. They know this is a woman, they want to support her, so they can allow the comment section. Let's listen to a bit of this.
He set up a new dating app for lesbians which uses facial recognition technology to make sure that only biological females can join. And this is due to concern that other apps are being used by men who identify as female lesbians. Potential users of...
Again, see, they support the trans women as attack dogs against other men. But they don't want them living in the mansion, you know. You've got the kennel.
The new app will have to go through a process when they sign up, whereby the app scans their face via their smartphone. And Jenny Watson is here to tell us more about it. Jenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
So now we've spoken before.
By the way, I have no problem with lesbians having their own dating app just for them. None. It's just that they deny us men the same right.
Because obviously you had your speed dating event for lesbians, where men who identified as women tried to turn up. It created a bit of a problem. Do you want to just quickly remind us what happened?
Speed dating, I got to give credit to Mr. Pink and Yellow. That's abuse, right? It's speed dating is geared to find out a man's status. It's not to get to know the man. You can't get to know someone speedily. So it's just there to get the man's status. But notice even the lesbians do the same thing. So when they get together, the first thing they ask each other is, what do you do for a living? Because even lesbian women, when they date other women, want to know what the person's status is. They're not going to date some broke-ass female.
Happened there.
So we were cancelled. Then we had our victory thanks
Yes.
to the LGB Alliance. But unfortunately,
LGB line. See, they're smart enough to get the wrong. I've seen some of the guys actually suggest do the same thing, that the gay men should have the GBT. Get rid of the women because they'll never speak for them. That's a good idea.
were stormed by trans activists and they wouldn't let us have our events. So we had to self-cancel in the end.
Right.
So we've decided, let's make our own space. Let's make our own.
They don't need to do that, though. Like, having trans in there doesn't prevent lesbians from not choosing them. Right? Like, if what lesbian sees, look, if a lesbian sees this face, there's nothing to prevent her from saying, nah, I'm not interested. So, this is just, we detest men. We don't want them in our spaces, right?
Own app.
So in other words, there are activists who are not willing to allow lesbians to gather for well, let's face it, a romantic kind of idea. The idea
Nonsense. Not allowing them to they're not preventing them from doing that. This is a lie. Just that they want to be included.
meeting other women who might be interested.
And that's all it is. It's not discrimination. There's
Yes.
I wouldn't call it transphobia. We just want to meet in peace, and they've made it their mission to prevent
See, it's discrimination when we keep these women out of our space. She considers that discrimination. But when they do it, it's not discrimination.
It's interesting. I mean, that idea to say that it's discriminatory in some way, well, you may as well say that all forms of sexual orientation are discriminatory, because there's a reason why gay men aren't attracted to women, for instance. Not because they hate women.
That's it,
It's the same.
Again, I agree. If gay men want to turn around and say we want women in our space, okay. Again, it's the double standard. But this guy's lying. Because I bet if I asked him should men have their own spaces, he'd probably say no.
Thing. So, okay, well, let's talk about your app. So you've had these activists preventing you from gathering, preventing you from having these dating events. So you've sort of taken matters.
Again, no one's preventing them. Right. These lesbians don't have to choose trans women if they don't want them.
Into your own hands.
Yeah.
Tell us what is the app? Where has it come from?
Okay, so the issue is that there's a real need for this. We have one main dating app for lesbians in the UK. And every single time that you write in your bio that you do not recognise men as lesbians,
That's not necessary to write, though. Why would they write that? All they have to do is the bio say, I am interested in lesbians. And that's it. You don't need to add anything else. So they are being discriminatory, aren't they?
you're banned.
You get banned from the app
You get banned
for being a lesbian.
for being a lesbian.
No. Not for being a lesbian. You're not being banned for being a lesbian. This is a lie. You're being banned because you're attacking the trans women.
Right? And they've even put this on their Twitter profile recently after we had a bit of a, media attention because
Yes.
of our...
So they're less about actually meeting other lesbians and more about bashing the trans. So it is discriminatory.
And they said, we will ban you if you have these sentiments. And
People watch.
All they have to do is keep their mouth shut and meet up with other lesbians. Okay, this is a different story.
This won't believe this.
I
But,
mean, I can't, it's...
It is astonishing. And you have a similar thing with Grindr, which is an app for gay men, where they've been shaming men who are only attracted to other men. But that's the whole point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those men aren't here in the news, are they, guys? This guy isn't talking to a gay man about this issue. It shows you the pandering that women receive.
Exactly. I think, with lesbians, it's been a problem for a lot longer, but for gay men in recent years...
No, she's lying again. See, sorry. We can't have equality. Gay men don't suffer the same as us in the same way. Always. Remember, women are anti-equality, not just lesbians and feminists. Women are anti-equality.
Same thing
They are about female supremacy.
is happening, and
Well, I spoke to
Yeah.
Sal Grover on this show, who obviously has her app
Yeah.
in Australia, and that's gone all the way to the High Court.
Yeah.
Because a man who identifies as a woman is demanding access to this lesbian-only platform.
it.
Yeah, this is a year old. He's talking about it. The other YouTube video is only a day old. So after a year, it's been decided, right?
So what you're saying is that trans people are free to do whatever they want and go on the apps they want, but this is specifically for women who are interested
And
sexually in other women.
that's all it's about, you know, it's plain and simple, yeah.
Again, I'm for having your own spaces, but they won't allow it for us guys.
So you've decided to set up this face scanning technology. Can you talk us through that idea?
Okay, so
Again, this is important because this face scanning won't just be used to keep men out of, dating apps for lesbians. It's going to be to discriminate against us in every other avenue of life.
obviously, you know, it's not going to be foolproof,
Right.
because that's the nature of this kind of software.
Yeah, I dare say it's not going to be foolproof. Because where was that? Yeah, like you think this woman is going to not be scanned as a male on the dating app? Like, look at this face. Anyway, I don't need to play the rest of this because I'm just pointing out again, notice when this is for women only, that this is a woman talking about supposedly a woman's issue. They allow comments. But once you get two groups of women duking it out, right? They turn the comments off because, again, ABC News can't take a side. Either way, it's going to lose, right? And of course, look at this. Just looking, protect woman. And it looks like an icon of a man and a woman. So he's been validated, and that's all he has to say. Protect women, right? Women are in danger if the evil trans man shows his face. She can't just refuse him on a dating app, right? People are losing their minds over this. Like I said, this is a year old, but I might have to take a look and see if I can find one where the comments aren't turned off and see what guys have to say. Because Not My Problem was probably right. People are probably losing their freaking minds over this, right? This attack dog, right? The second-class citizen in the LGBT, he's gaining female privilege by taking on the female identity. And it's blowing up in their faces, and they can't take it. Anyway, no matter what goes on, men lose. I want you to understand, no matter what else goes on, men lose. And it's about time guys started getting together and saying, no, I don't need to convert to female to stand up for myself. And I'm going to knock down this unjust situation where I'm not allowed to have my own space and exclude women. They are not my betters. Anyway, thank you, Not My Problem, for bringing this to my attention.